and here we have these tensional forces and is shear stress. When the two plates are parallel to each other, we will have tensional stress. So it is about the stress. And why this stress is actually being developing? This stress is actually developing because of the mantle convection. I hope you have a clarity on this. So first of all, it's the mantle convectional current. This mantle convectional current led to the crust. I hope you remember our crust is comprised of rocks. How many rocks are there? Okay, our crust is comprised of rocks. Faults top. Yes, you can see layers of rocks. Could have a sedimentary rock here. Have a combination of sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock, igneous rock. You can have a combination of igneous rock, metamorphic rock, or sedimentary rock like this. So if the mantle convectional forces or mantle convectional current are operating in this way, what will happen? The stress will be in this direction. Or no, if the stress is in this the particular direction, what will happen? These two plates will going to move towards. This is how the conveyor will. Okay, and when the stress is beyond the strength of rocks, energy will. So these rocks, as a result of this kind of action, accumulated strain energy. Okay, and when there is an accumulation of strain energy because of the mantle convectional current, there will be a bending, there will be a folding, there will be a deforming of these rocks under this stress like condition. Okay, and they are prone to fracturing. Prone to what? Fracturing. When there is a fracturing, there will be formation of fault. And yes, earthquake happen when the stress built on rock is beyond its strength, releasing energy as seismic in form of seismic waves. They will be released. Consider this in this particular way. Again, I'm telling you. Again, I'm giving you example. Let's say this is the entire plate. Okay, the entire plate on which we have. And if the mantle currents are operating in this way, what will happen? Stress will build. When the stress is built in this way, they will be released. Reversal of this, for example, if this consider this as a plate again, entire part as a plate, and on this particular plate we have these two rock blocks, block 1, block 2. Again, when we have some sort of mantle convectional current, if they are working in this particular way, so what will happen? The stress will be built in this way, the stress will be built in this way, the plates will going to move away from each other, the plates will going to move away from each other, plates will going to move away from each other. Now similar aspect will be there with the rock blocks will going to move away from each other, and that will be called as what? Tensional strength. That will be called as what? Tensional stress. That will be called as what? Tensional stress, tensional forces, you can. Okay, so I hope you have a clarity. So for a particular, you can say the cause, the theories are related to earthquake. First, we have a stress on rocks. So this stress on rocks is actually building because of the mantle convectional current, conveyor effect. Rocks layers which are there in the crust parts, they will also, under the influence of mantle convectional current, the energy will be accumulated there. And yes, strain energy when it is beyond the stress, simple. Moving ahead, in order to understand this thing in a more better way, we have one more theory, that is the elastic rebound. Of what? Elastic rebound theory. And this elastic rebound theory postulated that how earthquake is being, or to be precise, how faults could be formed. Now, try to focus here. So rocks can, handle the stress only up to their elastic. There is an elastic. Suppose this is the rock. and because of the mental convectional current, there is a stress which has developed. Due to that particular stress, what will happen? Rock might be bent. Rock might be bent. So let's say this is bending, okay, but it can bend up to a certain level. After a certain level, if that strain energy which is accumulating, if it is continuous, it will break. So just consider here, this is the original position, the fault basically, which is sharp disc. So that means what? This particular block is one, particular block is. However, at the bottom, this is the entire plate. This is block one and block. And just imagine the mental convectional currents are actually there, and because of the mental convectional current, there is the accumulation of energy. Let's say we have these, and if there is a building up of strain because of the mental convectional current, so there will be a some sort of building up of some sort of activity there in form of earthquake. First thing. Second thing is, if it is continuous, so what will happen? And when we have this final rupture as the release of this strain, I mean the energy will is what, and yes, we will have a permanent fault appear on the earth surface. So this rupture could be there, and this rupture, the fault which is here, is technically rupture, or let's say small fault or rupture, you can. When this rupture is there, if this rupture is continuously accumulating the energy, and if it is beyond its strength, that will go, and when this will go, call that as a pure particular. Okay. So stress build up gradually, rock deform elastically. When stress is greater than strength, what will happen? There is a sudden rupture along the faults, and when there is a sudden rupture, the stored energy will be released in terms of seismic wave. So when there is a propagation, we will have what? Seismic energy which is, and earthquake occur. And yes, rocks will rebound to their original. It is the law basically. So based on this elastic rebound theory, what we can, that how the faults could be formed, and equally or parallel to that, along with the formation of faults, how earthquake could take. You might have done that particular one kind of tantrum, or in your might have done an elastic band. Pull that elastic band, leave that will give original position. Similar oxygen. Similar with respect, means beyond a certain limit you cannot pull that particular rubber band, means the strain energy which is accumulating in that rubber cannot be beyond its. If you further pull, rubber band might going to break. First thing is, that might be a possibility. If you leave that, that will retain to it while releasing all the energy in terms of paper, or if you might have that pancha glass, all glass ball, we can put that, punish someone, that will go to propagate. That is the hand is like a mental convectional current. That particular rubber band is like a rock, cannot hold stress more. That will leave original position, rock, energy, paper, friend mind. That is what. So we have a same thing as far as earthquake, or as far as rocks, or as far as the faults are concerned.